A happy Sunday, happy weekend, Knicks Nation. I hope you're all safe and healthy on this Sunday and this weekend, that your family is also safe and healthy. Special prayers and request for a fellow content creator into the Knicks verse. I just found out a few minutes ago that his father passed away, and I wanted to give him a shout out. I love his channel, and I wanted to also ask for prayers and condolences for him. And as he had stated, what the statement I saw from him was, make sure you hug your loved ones and give them love so that you wouldn't regret anything when something like this happens. I don't know if it was expected or unexpected, but just remember the channel into the Knicks verse in your prayers. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are out here saving lives. Those also that pick up garbage for us, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create the demand for these industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children in the United States right now, homeless, many veterans, families, and millions of people around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Greetings to Tony Tippins, Lee Thomas, Mark Jackson, Senior Beef, my brother Malik Shabazz, Grand Rising to you, Miss Nancy Stevenson, Richard Vance, Stephen Kelly, my brother, Keith Just Truth, what's up? Francisco Acevedo, Almighty Finesse, King Ribby, salute. Glenn Costin, good day to you. To all of you, I hope again that you're all safe and healthy and that you're having a good weekend. I wanted to discuss a couple of more BS items that has come up. And I want to also help some of y'all learn something about some of these rumors. Every NBA player, or should I say, most NBA players, let me just be clear, most NBA players are represented by an agent. If not an official NBA licensed agent, registered agent, they're represented by some group that is looking out for their interest, in many ways, but mostly contract-wise, looking out for their interest. Every year that somebody, especially on the Knicks, is eligible for free agency, but it happens with every team, the agents will feed information, oftentimes false information, to people who have large platforms, to put information out there that's in the best interest of their client. This is not new. This is not secret, but many people forget because you get caught up in the news and in the drama. And so you forget that this is happening. But it happens every single time somebody is a free agent or going to be a free agent. That's why oftentimes, if you all remember from past years, just try to look back in past years, almost every free agent that became available, whether the Knicks were interested or not, the Knicks name would get involved. And that's that player's agent using the Knicks as leverage to help their client get the maximum money they can. Does that make sense? Y'all hearing what I'm saying? That's what's going on right now. That's what's happening. Okay? So you really want to listen to shams. You want to listen to people that have reputations to uphold. People that don't want BS to come out on their name so that they look bad. Shams and of course, Wojnarowski, the two big ones on national platform, and Ian Begley still has some of that panache to me, but they don't want their names associated with false rumors. Most of the other guys, almost all the other guys on other platforms, don't care. They just want clicks. So they'll put out rumors and they'll be able to say, I got this from a reliable source. Usually the reliable source, which they never name, is a representation of the player. Y'all got me? So the player rep is putting out feelers to platforms in order to put it out there to get everybody talking about it so that the team they're trying to get money from is under pressure to give them the maximum money. So case in point, Isaiah Hartenstein. Okay? Now, if you want to talk about people that play the 5 position in the league, and this is how you would know it's BS. This talk about 80 to 100 million is BS. This is how you would know. How many guys in the NBA that are centers receive $100 million contracts? How many guys in the NBA that are centers receive $100 million contracts? Now we can list them. You got Joker, right? Embiid, Giannis, who plays the 5, right? Joker, Embiid, Giannis. Am I missing somebody? Oh yeah, I am missing somebody. Jared Allen. That's right. And I purposely said that. Now, of those players, if you had to do it today, would you pay Jared Allen $100 million to play center for your team? If you had to do it today, would you pay Jared Allen $100 million to play for you? You're a GM. You want to win a chip. Would you pay $100 million to Jared Allen? Now, I don't count Cat because Cat is a forward. Gobert is the 5. Defensive player of the year. So Cat's not a center. So you see the Nets trained and developed Jared Allen. He was drafted by the Brooklyn Nets. And he, in his free agency, signed with Cleveland for $100 million. Okay? Cleveland got Jared Allen, Garland, LeVert, right? They drafted Isaac Okoro. They traded, obviously, for Donovan Mitchell. And did they win a championship with their $100 million center? Did they win a championship with their $100 million center? Okay, bam. But my point is, the guys that are $100 million guys are a certain class of guys. And you can look back and see which teams made a mistake paying $100 million to a guy that ain't going to win them a championship. As good as Isaiah Hartenstein is, you want to be real. He's not a $100 million player. And as stupid as some GMs and some owners could be, nobody's that stupid to see Jared Allen get $100 million and they don't win nothing. Then now I'm going to pay Hartenstein $100 million. So my point is, these guys are not playing with monopoly money. They're playing with real money. It's real money. So they're not going to give a guy that was 2 years ago a backup on the Clippers $100 million. Do you understand? Now, why is this rumor coming out? It's because Hart's agent is trying to make sure that Hart gets the maximum the Knicks can give him, which is around $72 million. Because prior to this, I was thinking, and I'm pretty sure the Knicks are thinking this, he's about $60 million player. If you want to look at it objectively, Isaiah Hartenstein's about a $60 million player. So his agents are putting stuff on like NBA Central platforms for y'all to talk about, saying he might get 180 to 100 million. And he's not. He's not going to get that. Okay? It's not even close. He's not going to get that. So I'm saying that just for all of us to have a lesson when somebody's on a free agent deal or coming into free agency. This is always going to be the case. And many times their agents use teams like the Knicks because the Knicks traditionally have overpaid for guys that are not worth the money. Right? Trade. I mean, we can go back to a lot of trades. The Knicks overpaid for Carmelo Anthony. They overpaid for him. They overpaid for Antonio McDyess. Okay? So they have overpaid in the past. They have a history. Going all the way back to the 70s with Paul Westphal. They overpaid. Not to mention the Glenn Gunroll disaster, overpaying for that bum from Toronto, the Italian guy. So they have a history of doing that. So agents know that. So they use the Knicks. You know, my guy could go to the Knicks and get $100 million. And they know he's not going to do that. So they're trying to press for as much as they can. You're Eddie Curry, another one. See, you could go back. That's right. Eddie Curry, Antonio McDyess, Carmelo Anthony. They have overpaid consistently until 4 years ago. That's right. Andre Bargnani. Thank you. Joakim Noah. See, y'all know now. Okay, so wait. With all of these names, let's just look. Andrew Kim, Chris Dudley, Hole Sheffy, Eddie Curry, Coach Hauser, Bargnani, Pinoy, Noah. I mean, look. Amari Stoudemire. Nobody was going to pay him $100 million, but the Knicks did out of desperation. Jerome James. We could keep going. Okay, so wait a minute. Now, let me just go down now. Ace of Spades, G. Custino, Hole Jeffrey, Sari Pinoy, Coach Hauser. Y'all think somebody going to pay Hartenstein $100 million? Anybody? You think anybody in the NBA is going to pay Hartenstein $100 million? Really? Do you think so? Seriously? Okay. So ain't nobody paying him that money. Nobody. It's not happening. Okay, so why? We just surmised. Look, we looked at the landscape. Ain't nobody except for your Jokers, your Giannis's, and even Embiid. I'd say Embiid is worth 100. He's getting 200, but we ain't paying that to him. But I'm saying there's certain players that you know are going to get that kind of money because they're worth that kind of money. Bam Adebayo, you know, they're going to get that kind of money. So Hartenstein is not. So they know this. Until 4 years ago, the Knicks would do stupid things like that. But the Knicks are not going to do that. Now, let me also say this. Hartenstein, this particular year, when you look at the list of NBA free agents at the 5 spot, and let's pull up the free agents at the 5 spot. When you look at the free agents at the 5 spot this year, you're looking at, let's see, Jonas Valanciunas is 32. Rashawn Holmes is going to be 31. James Wiseman is 23. Nick Claxton is 23. Hartenstein is going to be 26. Mo Wagner, 27. Daniel Tice, 32. Mason Plumlee, Kevin Love. There's nobody out here. There's nobody out here. Can y'all look at that list and tell me that's worth $100 million? There's nobody out there worth $100 million of the free agents at the 5 spot. Ain't nobody out there worth $100 million. Nobody. Okay? So you're looking at the landscape. You're the Don. You're looking at the landscape, and you ain't worried about him getting no $100 million. He's not going to. See? So that's point one. And I think we made the point. So all of the talk about him getting 80 to 100, can we agree it's BS? Just based on what we just said, what we just talked about? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody out there stupid enough to give Hartenstein $100 million. It ain't going to happen. Okay? Now, one team that's really been looking for a 5 and haven't got one, tried, is the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets been looking for a 5 for a minute. And it's like when the Knicks was looking for a point guard. The Charlotte Hornets been looking for a 5. They've been looking for a 5 for a while. They drafted Mark Williams hoping he would be that 5. They drafted Kai Jones. They drafted a whole bunch of dudes hoping they would be that 5. And they haven't gotten them. Okay? Do you think Isaiah Hartenstein wants to go play for Charlotte? Wait. Do you think Isaiah Hartenstein... We're going to talk about the Thunder in a minute. That's another stupid BS stuff they're putting out there. Do you think Isaiah Hartenstein wants to go play for Charlotte? Do you think he would? If the Knicks offered him 72 and Charlotte offered him 80, you think he's going to sign with Charlotte for the extra $8 million? I'm telling you, he won't. He's not going to. He was on a team that was one game from the Eastern Conference Finals without Julius Randle, without his backup Mitchell Robinson, without OG Anunoby. They were one game from the Eastern Conference Finals. You think he's going to go win 17 games for another $8 million with Charlotte? That's the kind of BS I'm talking about. Okay? That's the kind of BS I'm talking about. All right? So, okay. Next. Let's talk about team could offer him 484. He ain't going nowhere. That's my point to y'all. I don't give a crap what they offer him. He ain't going nowhere. He's going to be in New York. He's just trying to squeeze every dollar out of the Don that he can. That's all. He ain't going nowhere. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Stop it. He ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody out there that he's going to go to that's going to... Okay, let's go back again before we continue. No, he ain't going to no damn Thunder. Hold on. The Thunder got this guy named Chet Holmgren. That's their starter at the 5. Wait. Y'all forgot about him? They got this kid that's his name is Chet Holmgren, 7 foot tall. He starts at the 5 spot. Did y'all forget about him? Hey, wait. So you think they're going to pay Hartenstein $80 million to come off the bench behind Chet Holmgren? Wait. Let me make sure. I want to hear you. Do you think that Oklahoma City, who is also close to the Western Conference Finals, do you think that they're going to pay Isaiah Hartenstein $80 million to come off the bench behind Chet Holmgren, who they drafted number 1 overall? So you see how stupid that sounds. They got also behind Chet Holmgren a roughneck solid player who they ain't going to have to pay that kind of money to, named J-Dub. J-Dub is behind him. J-Dub is 6'10", 6'11". He's in the Isaiah Hartenstein mode. He's just younger. This is only his 3rd year. And he's a roughneck. Some of y'all know Oklahoma City. I've been watching Oklahoma City for a few years now because I love the way that organization is run. That's the long-term sustainable winner I want the Knicks to become. So I've been watching them for like 3-4 years now on League Pass. And they didn't build this team the way they built it to mess it up. They ain't stupid like some people in the media think New York is. Okay? So they are not going to sign Isaiah Hartenstein to no $80 million. I'm not even talking $100 million. That's ridiculous. But they're not going to sign for no $80 million to play behind Chet Holmgren. That would be stupid. They got a very seriously solid backup in J-Dub. So why are they going to do it? No, J Will. I'm getting confused. J-Dub is the starter. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. J Will is the cat they got out of Arkansas. They're not gonna put they're not doing that. And if you watched Oklahoma City, their problem wasn't at the 5 spot. Their problem wasn't at the 5 spot. So can we stop talking stupidity about Oklahoma City? I don't know who brought that crap up, but y'all now you know it's BS, right? Y'all understand why that's BS? That ain't happening? Now, 2 years ago, the Orlando Magic wanted Hartenstein. It was Orlando and the Knicks. And I heard this from Hartenstein's own mouth on the Roommates podcast. Some of y'all might have seen it. 2 years ago, Orlando was offering Hartenstein some money. And the Knicks offered Hartenstein some money to leave the Clippers. He was a free agent. The Clippers did not even offer him a contract. And the Knicks offered him more money, so he came to New York. Y'all remember that? Did any of y'all see that roommate? Am I the only one that's seen it? Because that's what he said. That's what Hartenstein himself said. He said he would have returned to the Clippers for less money. He would have taken less to go back to the Clippers. The Clippers chose a broken down, washed up John Wall. And where is John Wall now? Did he help the Clippers this year? Again, so that's BS point number 3. 3 strikes and you out. First BS point, he's going to get $100 million. Bullcrap. Second BS point is Oklahoma City's going to offer him a bunch of money. Bullcrap. Third BS point is Orlando. So now Orlando was trying to get him, and the Knicks wanted him to come to the Knicks. Now here we are. Now, first of all, yesterday's price in this case is not today's price. The Knicks offered him 2 years, $16 million. That was more money than anybody was offering him, plus incentives. The cat ended up making $19 million over the 2 years because he exceeded the incentives. Okay. He exceeded the incentives. So he made about 19. So now look, he comes into New York expecting to be a backup. And one thing that we have, can we agree? Isaiah Hartenstein's a team guy. He was supporting Mitch Rob the whole time. Even when Mitch Rob was out, he said, I'm only holding this spot until Mitchell comes back. But now he's legitimately the starter in New York because he's more durable than Mitch Rob. Mitch Rob has got more talent, but he's not as available as Hartenstein. And Mitch Rob will play. You'll be able to prolong his career and make his production more efficiently having him back up Hartenstein. And I think Mitch Rob has already said, I heard him say, they said, what would you think about playing the second unit? He said, I'd love it. He said that. He said, I'd love it. I'm not even giving that third hand. I heard Mitch Rob say that himself. He said, I'd love it. So Mitch Rob has no problem playing the second unit, and Hartenstein's the starter. So now Hartenstein's the starter in New York City on a team that was 1 game from the Eastern Conference Finals and missing 4 players from their rotation. So wait. What do you think? He's going to leave that for a couple of dollars more somewhere else? You wait, seriously though, would you leave that to go to New Orleans and play with broken down, can't stay healthy, ambulance school Zion Williamson, or Brandon Ingram, also in the Anthony Anderson school? You going there for what? Come on, y'all. You got to be real here. Think about it from your player's perspective and not the BS media that's giving you all of this crap. But y'all, okay, so let's review where we at. Some of y'all just came in. Let's review where we at, okay? So you have agents representing NBA players. If you were an agent representing an NBA player, your goal is to get your guy as much money as you can. I mean, that's your goal. You want your guy to be set for life because the more money he makes, the more that big 4% comes to you, right? So if he gets 100 million, you get 4. If he gets 40 million, you get 1.6. So you want the most money you could get for him because you get the most money. So what are you going to do? You're going to use every area of leverage that you can. The biggest area of leverage is media. That's the biggest area. So you contact somebody on NBA Central. You contact Steve Popper. You contact Winbag. You contact all these people, and you say, my guy is able to get $80 to $100 million. The Knicks better come up with some money. That's what you say. Now, it's not true, but you don't care. You're trying to get your boy some money. So now it's being reported, oh, God, he can leave. The Knicks cannot pay him more than 72, and so he might leave because somebody will give him $100 million. Until you start to look on the landscape. Look at the landscape, okay? Who's going to give him that? See, and not only that, I mentioned again, Hartenstein was one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals with a team that didn't have all its players, and they're all coming back. You understand? They're all coming back. So now he's going to be on a starting unit at Madison Square Garden in a Knicks organization that was one game from the Eastern Conference Finals, a Knicks organization that had gave him his big break, a Knicks organization where he's considered the starting center, where the team loves him, where the coach loves him, and you think he's going to go to Charlotte or New Orleans? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on now. Come on, man. Listen, I think the Knicks might give him the $72 million. They might. But even if they gave him $60 million, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question now. If somebody offered you $60 million over 4 years, would you be inclined to accept that? In a job you love, working in a place you love, working with people that you love, and they said, listen, we'd like to offer you $60 million over the next 4 years to play with us. Would you do that? Y'all think this is monopoly money. This is real money, man. This is real money. Homie just got married. He probably wanted to start having babies with his little chick. So he you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know, but that's the Andrew Ken. That's the case for every player. Anybody got 100 million, really getting 50 million. Anybody got 80 million, really getting 40 million. Anybody got 200 million, really getting 100 million. That's everybody. That ain't just him. That's everybody. Everybody lives in that life. So they ain't nothing different there. 72 is the max he could get from the Knicks. The Knicks can offer him 175% of his current deal. That ends up being somewhere between $75 million. Okay. So that doesn't matter. No. As far as federal taxes, you're starting at half. We're not even talking about state taxes. We're talking about federal taxes. In federal taxes, you're starting at half. Okay. State taxes are different, but in federal taxes, everybody's the same. It's federal. So if you got 100 million, you're going to start with 50 million. Uncle Sam going to take half that money. Period. End of story. Okay. So everybody's on the same level playing field. Don't matter. Okay. So that's the deal. Not only that, even though say Florida, like Orlando, there's no state taxes. There's no state income tax in Florida. But let me ask you all a second question. Do you think he's going to get as much endorsement money in Orlando as he's going to get in New York City? Wait, you think he's going to get more endorsement money in Orlando as he's going to get in New York City? Come on, y'all. Y'all got some of y'all. I'm just wondering what is wrong with some of y'all, man. Why do you listen to these people? Why do you even bother? Why? Why are you listening to these knuckleheads? He ain't going to no Oklahoma City. He ain't going to no New Orleans. And he damn sure ain't going to no Charlotte. What Okay, I'm not even going to answer that question. So, anyway. Ooh, So that's what we're talking about. So now let's talk real about Hartenstein. If I was his agent, okay, I used to be a financial advisor for about 10 years in the past life. If I was his agent, this is very easy. This is what we do. We sign a 4-year deal with the Knicks. Whether most we could get, I'm trying to get 72 million. If I could get that, if I can get between 60 and 72, that's a nice number for Isaiah Hartenstein. What I would do is I would make the 4th year a player option. Why would I do that? I would make the 4th year a player option. Why? Because the new CBA has come out, and now he can play for 4 years. If he decides, if he gets hurt, he's going to have that money. But if he doesn't get hurt and he comes out the 3rd year and the Knicks have won a championship, now he can command some serious loot. See, y'all see what I'm saying? So that 4th year, I am going to opt out. And teams are going to come for me because we just won a championship and I'm the starting center. And now 100 million then is not 100 million today. 60 million today's probably 100 million 4 years from now. That's what I would do. Okay, that's what I would do. So I would sign a 4-year deal with the Knicks. My 4th year is a player option, and then we'll roll from there. And that's how you got leverage. You getting money. You in New York. You with a winner. You in a culture that loves you, a team that loves you. You could play with these guys for the next 3 years. Same guys. Okay. So that's why. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That's what I would do. See, and like I said, somewhere between 60 million and the 72, 75 million. That's how you do it. You with a winner, you can win a championship. You know, you got like I said, he gets along. Everybody loves him. Him and Mitch Rob especially, they get along. Tibbs loves him. They're good. That's it. I'm not worried about Hartenstein. I never was. If y'all watch my channel, I've never been worried about Isaiah Hartenstein at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Now, if there was a contender that had cap space and needed a center, that would be a bit concerning, but that's not the case. There's no contender. There's nobody in the final 8 teams of the playoffs this year that's like, oh God, they might take him away. No, there's nobody. There's nobody. Okay, the closest thing I would say is maybe Orlando, and they got Wendell Carter, maybe them, but they got Wendell Carter locked up, so I don't know. You know, and I don't know if he'd want to go to Orlando now that he's established with the Knicks. To me, Orlando is the only real threat. Orlando Magic is the only real threat, and I don't even consider them a big threat. I'm not worried about Isaiah Hartenstein returning to the Knicks. He's going to return to the Knicks. Okay. So that's the first guy. I just wanted to get that out the way because it's been so stupid, the stuff that I've been hearing about Isaiah Hartenstein. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. There's nobody in the NBA that's going to give him $100 million. Nobody. Okay. Not going to happen. Ooh. And again, let's look at the free agent list, y'all. Look at the free agents. Jonas Valanciunas, 32 years old. He's just coming off $15 million, unrestricted free agent. Rashawn Holmes, 31 years old. He's just coming off $11.6 million. James Wiseman is 23 years old, just coming off of $10 million. Claxton, 25 years old, just coming off of $9 million. And then there's Hartenstein, just coming off of $8 million. Mo Wagner, $8 million. Mo Wagner, by the way, is the backup center in Orlando. So can we start with the Hartenstein? Next time you see that BS out there, you know it's bullcrap, okay? Now, let's talk about OG Anunoby, okay? Let's talk about OG Anunoby. Now, first off, what some of y'all don't recognize yet, which is to your own detriment, is the brilliance of Leon Rose. You just not catching that yet. You still playing checkers. And this cat's been playing chess from day one. Some of y'all still on the checkers tip. You don't recognize how brilliant this man is. Okay, he knows what the hell he's doing. Okay, he really does. And he's been showing it from day one. Okay, there's no question in my mind. I've seen a lot of managements come through New York. There's been nobody like him. There's been nobody like him. Okay, nobody. All right, so now let's talk about OG Anunoby. For the last 4 years, Leon has never overpaid for anybody. If you recall, 2 years ago, the Toronto Raptors were putting feelers out there with 4 number 1 picks for OG Anunoby. Some of y'all don't remember that. They were talking about 4 number 1 picks, and they were saying he wanted all of this money and blah, 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 blah. Right? Remember, yeah, this was 2 years ago. And then last year, if y'all recall, last summer, I said the Knicks should look at Mikal Bridges first and then OG Anunoby. And I told y'all at that time it would be RJ because he's from Toronto and Quickly because he wants to start, if y'all recall. I did tell you that. Okay? It was RJ and Quickly. And I told you this a year ago. So I was like, okay. So when the deal happened, I was surprised because I didn't think Masai Ujiri would come up off it, but then again, Masai Ujiri was going to lose OG for nothing because OG was out. Then OG went and changed agents from Clutch to CAA. Do y'all remember that? This was a year ago now. Now we're going a year ago. He was changing agents from Clutch to CAA. That was a year ago. Then the deal happened. And RJ and Quickly go to Toronto. OG comes to New York with Precious. What a deal. Okay? Now, that's brilliant of itself. But let me ask you a question. Do you think Leon Rose is stupid enough to trade RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly for a guy that wasn't going to sign with him the following summer? Wait, let me just, you really think the Knicks are that stupid that they're gonna go trade for OG Anunoby and there's no guarantee he's gonna come back the next year? I mean, some of y'all, please. And the thing is, I think what it is people are so used to dissing New York. You're so used to buying into the crap from the media because they really hate James Dolan. You're so used to buying into it. And the Knicks had been bad until 4 years ago, management-wise, that you start buying into this crap. Stop it. He's not going to do that. And Philadelphia, please, let's talk about Philadelphia. Philadelphia might want OG. Let me ask you the real question. Would OG want Philadelphia? Philly's just coming off of paying Tobias Harris $180 million. They just coming off of paying him that. Okay? They're just coming off of paying Tobias Harris $180 million. Freaking Joel Embiid cannot stay healthy for a full season. And you think OG wants to leave the Knicks to go there? And do you really think that Philly's going to pay $200 million for him? Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Again, OG's agent is putting that out there. Why? Because he wants to get the most he can for his client from the Knicks. Now, the market value, the real market value for OG Anunoby is $140 million. I've been saying that for a while now. That's the market value. That's his market value. On the free agent market, he's not getting any more than that from anybody. Okay? He's not. And even Charlotte. Charlotte just got burned by Gordon. What was the boy's name? Gordon, what was the boy's name? He just burned them for like $90 million. Missed half the games. Wait, y'all remember that, right? Gordon Hayward, right? He just burned them for like $90 million. And you think they're going to get stupid again? Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. So, look, the Knicks made that trade understanding he was going to come back. He was dynamite with the Knicks when he played. He was like this old Jaguar I used to own. When the Jaguar that I used to have, man, when that thing was on the road, it was smooth as butter. And it was black on black, and people was giving me all kind of looks. But problem was it spent just as much time in the shop as it spent on the road. It spent just as much time in the shop as it spent on the road. Okay? And every time I walked in there, we starting with $1,000. That was the beginning. So that's OG. That's OG. So really, this is what's going to happen with OG. The Knicks will pay him the $140 million, but it's going to be incentivized. He's got to pay 65 games. Okay? He'll get more money if he's all NBA defense. He'll get more money if he's in the playoffs. And if they go far in the playoffs, it'll be incentivized. They'll give him the money, but it'll be incentivized. And ain't no team in the NBA going to do better than that. Ain't no team in the NBA going to do better than that. Okay? Unless he wants to go to Charlotte. Okay? Now, we don't have no competition because Oklahoma City, they start Jalen Williams and Dort. Wait, they start Jalen Williams and Dort. You think they're gonna break that up for OG? Both Jalen Williams and Dort are more durable than OG. Dort is all NBA defense. Come on, y'all. That's what I'm saying. and then Houston, I don't know if you knew, but Houston got this young boy named Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith, a future star, starting at the 4. That's who Houston got. What you think, they're gonna give up on Jabari Smith? Come on. Okay. So my point to you is OG ain't going nowhere. OG ain't going nowhere. Okay. OG ain't going nowhere. There's no concern about him coming back. OG will come back. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, he's going to miss games next year. But that's okay. He can miss games. Okay, he can miss games. But Juju, we don't want him missing game, and we don't want Mitchell Robinson missing game, which is why he's going to come off the bench. Mitchell Robinson and Juju got to stay healthy, and we can run this thing. OG, seriously, we can get him for 60 games, and then the playoffs, we good. Okay? OG, if we can get him for 60 games in the playoffs, we good. I'm not expecting OG to play 72 games. That ain't going to happen. But realistically, we can get him for 60 games, and then the playoffs, we good. Okay? If we'd have had OG in the playoffs, the Knicks might still be playing. Okay? If we'd have had him healthy for the playoffs, the Knicks might still be playing. That's without OG, without Mitchell Robinson. So we really need him for the playoffs, and we need him about 60 games in the season. We're good. And even Thibodeau knows that. Thibodeau pulled him from that last game he played. Thibodeau said, I didn't want to risk any more injury for him. He pulled him. So even Thibodeau knows that. So that's going to be OG. OG's coming back. Okay? We can stop that BS. That's BS number 2. Hartenstein's coming back. OG's coming back. I told you. Okay? Let's stop the BS. Okay? Now, Bodega 44 or Precious. I told you this last week. It's going to come down to the Knicks. I'm not choosing. Some of y'all all making your choice. Well, we need to sign Bodega. Oh, no, we need to sign Precious. We need to do what the Knicks management thinks is the best thing. And I'm down whichever way they go. If they decide to keep Precious, I'm down with that. If they decide to keep Bodega, I'm down with that. Whatever. You understand? I don't care. They're going to have one of them. They're going to have one of them. They're going to have one of them. They're not going to let both of them go. If you're thinking that, you're stupid. Stop being stupid for once. They're going to keep one of them. They're going to keep. They definitely keeping one of them. Okay? So I don't know which one. We'll find out. We'll find out. Okay? We'll find out. We'll find out soon. Somebody said, if they could sign Hartenstein before the draft night, you might see some other moves. Yeah, you might see some other moves. But we'll see. Burks is not coming back to the Knicks. Let me state the reasons why. Some of y'all still forgot stuff. Why do y'all forget stuff and get caught up in the bull crap? Y'all, there used to be this rap song back in the late 80s. Some of y'all remember. I forgot the dude's name, but if I say the line, y'all gonna know who I'm talking about. Remember this song? She Catching the Vapors. Yo, remember that? She Catching the Vapors. Remember that? Who was that dude, y'all? She Catching the Vapors. Some of y'all catching the vapors. Some of y'all catching the vapors. This dude was from Brooklyn. Some of y'all, Bismarcky. That's right. Some of y'all catching the vapors, man. Some of y'all catching the vapors. And y'all need to stop catching the vapors. Bismarcky said, some of y'all catching the vapors, man. Yeah, rest in peace. You're catching the vapors, man. Some of y'all need to stop catching the vapors. You're catching the vapors, okay? And some of y'all's like, you got to make a deal. You don't care what the deal is. Trade somebody. We need to make a deal. Trade somebody. You don't need to make a deal. We got a team. They just built one right in front of you. They just built one right in front of you over the last 4 years. They got a tape. Some of y'all didn't catch it. You're too busy whining, looking at NBA 2K. They built a team. They got one. They got every position already that they need. Yeah, busy. He did pass away. Rest in peace. Yeah, no. But that was his claim to fame, though. You catching the vapors. She catching the vapors. Y'all catching the vapors. Some of y'all catching the vapors, man. Y'all need to stop. OG's going to be back. Hartenstein's going to be back. They're going to have to choose between Precious and Bodega. They're going to have to choose. They're going to have to choose. Yeah, they're going to have to choose. I'm not sure who they're going to pick, but the Don got that under control. Now, again, the only exception is one Mikal Bridges, but we don't know what's going to happen with that either. Yeah, we don't know what's happening with that either. So we'll see. I don't know. But the draft is going to be determined by if the Knicks decide to get Mikal Bridges or not. That's really what we're talking about. We're not talking about PG-13 or any other of these, or who else? Zach LaVine. Come on, we're not getting these losers, man. Forget it. We're not getting these losers. We're not getting these losers. But it's going to be Mikal or bust. Now, if they want to add a small piece, we talked about Alex Caruso as a small piece. We talked about Alex Caruso. Bridges would be a major piece, okay, to get. That would be a major piece. But we talked about Alex Caruso, Cam Johnson in Brooklyn. What's the other cat, roughneck in Brooklyn? Solid roughneck dude in Brooklyn off the bench. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What's that solid roughneck dude off the Brooklyn bench? He played for Phoenix too. Solid dude, man. Oh, God. Dorian Finney-Smith. Thank you, Mr. Baptiste. That's it. They can get a smaller piece in a Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith for their bench. And they can move on from Bodega 44 if they wanted to. They could do that. They could do that. And they can get those guys at very reasonable prices. Those guys ain't no, $60 million guys. You could get them at very reasonable prices, okay? Probably mid-level exception money. You can get them, any of those three guys, if you want to. That's a small move they might get if they decide to move on from Bodega. They could do that, okay? Any of those guys, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, Caruso, they would be solid pieces to come on your bench. That would be solid bench pieces, very solid bench pieces. So that's really what we're talking about. Now, as far as the draft, if they make a draft pick, I don't know why all of these, everybody I'm watching that does draft analysis, if you want to call it that, they mostly only focus on offense. This guy can shoot from the 5 spot. Never mind, he ain't seen defense. Oh, this guy's 18 and plays in Europe and he can shoot. Never mind, he ain't seen defense in his life yet. And you think the Knicks are going to win. Y'all need to understand the Knicks are a new culture. Just like Miami. Do you think Miami wants a player that can shoot and can't play defense? No. Do you think Miami Heat wants? Do you think Miami Heat, Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, they will sign a guy that can shoot the lights out but cannot play defense? You think they do that? Even Duncan Robinson is forced to play defense. He only gets minutes as much as he can play defense. Okay? The Knicks are also now doing the same thing. So all of these guys that, walking bucket, they don't give a crap about that if he can't play defense. He's got to play defense. This is not negotiable. This is not maybe Tibbs can help him. No, if he doesn't play defense, he's not coming. So they're going to get number one, probably trade the other one, but they got to play defense. And so we talked about Holmes. We talked about Ware. We talked about the kid from Kansas, from Furphy. All of those guys, solid or couldn't develop into solid NBA players. Okay. I like, again, Iguodala. I like him. I like, there's another kid, Dunn. Dunn has no offense, but he can play defense. Dunn, right now, Ryan Dunn is not even G League level offensively. He's not even G League level offensively, but he is NBA level defensively. I mean, right now, Ryan Dunn can guard, most guys on the wing in the NBA. He is good defensively, and his motor is tremendous. So I like Ryan Dunn. The Knicks are now bringing guys in for workouts. It's already started doing that. You're going to see more of that as we get in the next 2 weeks, as we get closer to the draft. You'll see more guys being brought in. But if you've watched the Don and how they work over the last 4 years, they bring in 1 million dudes. That don't mean they like everybody. You want to see who they bring in a second time or a third time. Who is they bringing in the 1 week before the draft? Who are they bringing in? That's who you want to look at. Okay, they bring in a bunch of guys. Everybody's trying to speculate on who they're going to draft pick because of the guys they bring in. They bring in a bunch of guys every year. They really do. They bring in a bunch of guys every year, most of which they're not going to pick. But they bring them in because the Knicks are really high on due diligence. They're really high on due diligence. They do a lot of due diligence. Okay, so they're going to bring in a bunch of people, see what's out there, and then do their due diligence. And then as you get closer to the draft, they will focus on 3 or 4 guys. And they will focus on them, and they'll have a draft board, and they'll see what's available when they're ready to pick. Like, I'm sure that they had Trey Murphy III in for several workouts when Trey Murphy III was coming out of Virginia. And they had him on, I'm sure they had him on their board. They had him for like 2 or 3 workouts. But he moved up the draft board. Right? And they weren't going to move up. That's one thing you need to understand, too. They're not going to move up the draft board. The Knicks are not paying money to move up. So Murphy moved up the draft board. Okay, he was out of reach. So then they ended up trading down and getting Quentin Grimes. Okay, so that's that's the kind of thing you're going to see from Leon Rose. So that is something to watch. I like all of the guys I named. I like Khalil Ware. I like, for different reasons. I like Furphy. I like obviously DeRon Holmes is number 1 on my board, but I like DeRon Holmes. I like Ryan Dunn. I like all of those guys. Keyshawn George, he's all right. They're gonna have to be patient with him. He's the younger of these guys. We're talking about him and Furphy. But I like Furphy better as an all-around player for the future. I like Furphy better. Furphy has a lot of Joe Ingles in him. I like his game. I like the well-roundedness of his game. And I think he has some upside. And if he does, I like him as a solid bench piece, Furphy. Holmes can be a starter, in my view. Ware can eventually be a starter, in my view. Dunn is a bench piece that you can start if you need to. He's not a shooter. I don't think, I don't want to say he'll never be one, but he's not a shooter. He's not a shooter. But he is a tremendous defensive player. I like Ryan Dunn as probably the best defensive wing in this draft, Ryan Dunn. But he's a terrible shooter. I mean, he has no shot at all. 0. I just watched a video of him, and he has no shot at all. 0. So we'll see how this works out. But he's got a really nice motor, really good defense instincts on defense are really good. I like him. I like him a lot. And I like Iguodaro for the same reason. 6'10", 6'11", can guard 1 through 5. Not a great shooter, but doesn't try to be. He doesn't have to be from his position where he'd be playing. Really, I like him. He's got a lot of Brandon Clark in him. I like Brandon Clark coming out of Gonzaga. And because Iguodaro is a little older than Clark was, and he doesn't shoot as good as Clark did. Clark wasn't a tremendous shooter coming out of Gonzaga either, but that's why Iguodaro is down on the draft board, because he's older. And he's like 22 or 23. And then you got, but he plays tremendous defense. He's got a great motor. He's got 7-foot wingspan. He knows how to use it. He's very, very good in terms of how basketball IQ Iguodaro is at a Marquette. I like that kid. I don't think they'd have to waste a draft pick on him. I think they can invite him as an undrafted free agent and see what happens. I think they can. But yeah, Dunn can't shoot at all. Don't even expect him to shoot. Yeah, but yeah. So they got some really good prospects, but all of these prospects will be irrelevant if they make a trade, because they're going to trade all of these picks if they make a trade. right? So they're going to give up all of these picks if they make a trade. Especially if it's Mikal Bridges. They're going to give up all of those picks, plus 2026 picks. It's going to take that to get Mikal Bridges. So you give up all your 2024, your 2026, and you go on with life. Yeah. Yeah. You can target Kobe White, but I don't like targeting players that you have no chance of getting. You have no chance of signing Kobe White. Zero. Kobe White is becoming a star in Chicago, and he's one of those players that fits both moves. If you're deciding to rebuild, you keep Kobe White. If you decide to keep going with what you got and try to add to it, you keep Kobe White. So Kobe White is not available. Okay, let's be realistic. He's not available. Zach LaVine is available. DeMar DeRozan's available, but Kobe White is untouchable on Chicago right now. It doesn't matter, Curry. You can trade as many picks as you want. Chicago is not stupid. They're not letting go of Kobe White. Okay. Alex Caruso, maybe because they don't guarantee his last year of his deal, he might be able to move on if he's only $2 or $3 million guaranteed in the mid-level exception deal. But Kobe White is not available. He's not going anywhere. You got to stop thinking. People got to stop thinking only from the Knicks perspective. Like you can go to the store and pull somebody off the shelf. Every team has guys that they're not letting go of. Kobe White is that guy on Chicago. They're not letting go of him. He's going to be a Chicago Bull, and they're going to pay him what they need to pay him. Okay, so that's going to happen, right? So Caruso, because he's not guaranteed a full contract money this coming season, he's available. Anybody talking cat for Randle, you should stop using drugs and stop drinking cheap wine. It's not good for you, cheap wine. I know, good wine is good for your stomach, but cheap wine is bad. And if you're talking cat for Randle, you're really drinking cheap wine. You need to stop doing it. And really, opioids are dangerous. You shouldn't be using fentanyl. Really, don't use fentanyl, because then you wouldn't be talking about cat for Randle. You really wouldn't be doing that. That's a sad situation. You must be using that fentanyl. Give it up, and stay away from those meth labs. They're not good for you. They're really not good for you. Okay, stay away from that. Anyway, speaking of Julius, the Don loves Julius Randle, but this is me. I don't see him offering Julius Randle a $181 million extension. Couple of reasons for this. Julius Randle played 46 games this past season. He missed a large portion of the Miami Heat series the season before. Now, we're not blaming him. I'm not trying to down Julius or be negative on Julius, and I'm certainly not offering any trades for Julius. But I'd like to see, if I'm going to invest in him some more money, I'd like to see him come back fully healthy and play a good 72 games this coming season. I need to see that. Number two, Julius is 29 years old. He's going to be 30 years old in November. 30, 31, you're pretty much at the tail end of your prime. Julius is a physical ball player. Physical ball players start getting hurt a lot when they get older. So I want to see how healthy he is at the end of this coming season. And I need to see the production that I saw before the injury. And then we could talk about a contract. And I still wouldn't be talking about no $181 million, because, again, the next deal, he's going to be past 30, 31, going on 32. I'm not paying a guy going 32 years old $181 million. Just not doing that. We're not talking about LeBron here at 31. Okay, so I am not offering him the extension. And Russell Reed, thanks for the $10 here in Chicago. Agree. Chicago's keeping White, and maybe Pat will. Right. Kobe is on the most billboards as it's right. That's what I'm saying. They're not getting rid of Kobe, right? He's right now, he's the most valuable he's going to be for Chicago, and he ain't going nowhere. And he fits either way. If Chicago's going to rebuild and get rid of DeRozan and get rid of LaVine and get rid of Vucevic, they're going to keep Kobe White if they're going to rebuild. if they want to add to them guys and hope they can come back and play, if they have this fantasy that Lonzo Ball is actually going to play, you still want to keep Coby White. Okay, because he can either way. He's very valuable, so you're going to keep Coby White. Thank you, Russell Reed, for the $10, and that's absolutely correct. You're going to keep Coby White. He's not available. Okay, so don't even think about Coby White. Don't even worry about him. I don't want y'all to be disappointed. So Randle is under contract for 2 more years. And let me just make sure I got that right. Julius Randle is under contract for 2 more years. So if you sign an extension with him, you're talking about this extension kicking in the year after next. So he is signed until let me just make sure. He becomes a free agent. Let me see, I got this right. He got a player option in 25-26 for $31 million. He's unrestricted in 26-27. Okay. So Julius's new deal, if you were to extend him, he'd have to, opt out of his player option for next year, next summer, and then take the new deal after that. So I don't know if I'm the Knicks. See, some of y'all, and I understand, really, some of y'all are sentimental. I understand that. As a Knicks fan, yeah. You want Julius, he's been really good for the Knicks. You want him to get his money. But you also think about the business side here. He's going to be 30. If you extend him, he starts the new deal at age 31. Okay, so now, so he goes, let's say it was a 3-year deal. 31, 32, 33. You want to pay a 33-year-old guy $40 million? I'm asking. They might do that. I'm not paying him 4 years. I'm going to give him 3. And because he's a fan favorite, and I'll give him $100 million over 3 years. Okay? 31, 32, 33. Okay? And what I'm doing at that point is I'm definitely drafting a guy like Deron Holmes. And I'm keeping Precious Achiuwa. Because now I got 2 shots to develop a guy to replace him in 3 years. Okay? You got 2 shots. That's how I would do it. I would give him 3-year extension. Let me also ask you all a question. Seriously, though. Is there any contending team? Think of your contenders. Now, let's talk about the contenders from this year. Let's talk about the contenders from this year. Not the pretenders, the contenders, right? Is there any contending team that's going to pay Julius Randle $181 million? Is Miami going to pay him $181 million? Is Orlando? Is Cleveland? Are Bucks? Oklahoma City, Denver, Minnesota, the Clippers, Dallas, Phoenix. Is there anybody out here that I just named that you seriously think is going to give Julius Randle $180 million? I just asked the question. I don't want to hear who has money to spend. I'm talking about contenders. Julius didn't start with the Knicks winning 17 games to go to 50 wins to join Detroit. Okay? Come on now. Let's be real again. Come on. Some of y'all got to be real now. Julius didn't join the Knicks from New Orleans to start winning 17, 20 games his first year. And now they're 50 games and on the verge of going to the Eastern Conference Finals. You think he's going to want to join Detroit? Wait, you think he wants to join Detroit? Come on, y'all. Ain't nobody giving him that money. Nobody giving him that money. No, Joe Curry. Who is Detroit starting for? Who starts at the 4 for Oklahoma City? Sorry. Who starts at the 4 spot for Oklahoma City? Who starts at the 4th spot for Oklahoma City? Any of y'all know? Who starts at the 4th spot for Oklahoma City? For the Thunder. A team that also finished top 3 in the West. Young team, ready to go to the next level. Who starts at the 4th spot? His name is Jalen Williams. Y'all know who Jalen Williams is? That's J-Dub. Y'all know J-Dub? J-Dub starts at the 4th spot for Oklahoma City. Y'all know J-Dub? You should. He's been killing the Knicks every time they play him. Thanks for the $5. Louis Luck Leon isn't going to bid against himself. That's right. You're right. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. So Oklahoma City is not going to sign Julius Randle. And they're definitely not signing him for $181 million. They got Jalen Williams starting at their 4th spot. They got Lou Dort starting at their 3 and 2 spot. He can play either one. He's their Josh Hart, and he can play either position, and he can go 40 minutes, and he's all NBA defense. So, yeah, forget Oklahoma City. Anybody mentioning Oklahoma City is really you understand? So, yeah, Detroit is in full rebuild mode. There is no NBA player that wants to waste their last years of their career, especially if you've been a big star in New York City, to go to Detroit to a rebuilding situation. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all know better than that. Some of y'all need to think before you start with some of this crap, man. For real. Please, think a little bit. Just a little bit. So Juju ain't going nowhere. Juju ain't going nowhere. He's very happy to be in New York. Okay, I would pay him $100 to $120 million over 3 seasons. I would do that, and I would give him that extension. That's what I would give him. And you know what? Let's paint it like this. Oh, Drew gave the Knicks another discount. Ain't giving no damn discount. Ain't nobody out there gonna pay him that. But you can paint it that way if you want to, just like the last time. Wasn't nobody giving him all of the money that he was supposed to be getting. Forget that. He got the most he could, and the Knicks gave it to him. Okay. Yeah, maybe he has 3. Let's give it to him. Let's say Juju got 3 prime years left. 30, 31, and 32. Okay, cool. You want to pay him 4 years, $180 million? Yeah, there's that. Now, only way that Don might do that, and y'all know what I'm about to say. Let me ask y'all. Y'all should know now. How would the Don structure a $180 million deal for Julius Randle? How would he structure that? Come on, y'all know. Y'all know this. If Julius Randle was going to get $180 million in August from the Don, how would he structure that deal? How is that deal structured? Come on now, talk to me. No. Very, very simple. Very simple. Even more simple than that. That's right. V-Dash got it. The 4th year would be a team option. The 4th year would be a team option. The 4th year would be a team option. And it would be backloaded. That's exactly right. It would be backloaded. It'd be incentivized. And the 4th year would be a team option. Come on, y'all. Y'all know how the Don do business. So if he was to offer Juju $180 million, that 4th year, they ain't on the hook. They ain't going to be on the hook. Team option, baby. The Don is the king of team options. You know he's going to be doing the team option. That's how he would do it. That's the main thing I wanted to get out. That 4th year, the Knicks would not be on the hook for the 4th year. That'd be a team option. Okay? That'd be a team option. And they'd be grooming a power forward to come in. And, we don't even know, like, for example, let's say, let me just see this before I say this. Let's say 2 years from now, a guy you weren't expecting becomes available. Let's say 2 years from now, Juju is 31 going on 32, right? Let's just say 2 years from now, he's 31 going on 32. And 2 years from now, I'm just throwing his name out there. Michael Porter Jr. becomes available. 2 years from now, Michael Porter Jr. becomes available. What do y'all think then? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Or Obi Toppin comes back. That's what I'm saying. So I would give Ju 3 years, and the fourth year would be the team option, just to make it look good. I'll give him a team option, but he's never going to see that money. But then I'd be looking for somebody that's coming up 2 years from now that we can get. Either a rookie we could draft now, or Deron Holmes, we could draft him and develop him for 2 years from now. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Well, Joe Curry, you're looking at what you want. The Knicks never move up in any draft. Not since the Don has been here. Joe Curry, please try to think what the Knicks going to do based on what the Knicks do. The Knicks never move up, ever. They don't do it. They're not going to do it. They're not moving up, and especially, this is a weak-ass draft. They're not moving up in this weak-ass draft for nobody, okay? They're not going to do that. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So let's think like the Don and stop trying to think like us, because we don't. I'm trying to say, see, Joe, I'm trying to tell you, don't think like you. What's the Don going to do? What's he going to do? He's not moving up. I can guarantee you 100%. He's not giving up his draft picks to move up. Not going to do it. Okay? He'll trade the pick for future number ones, but he's not going to move up in this draft. Not going to do it. Okay? He's not going to do it. Right? So forget that. And especially now, at that level that the Knicks are drafting at, you could get Deron Holmes. You can get Deron Holmes. You can get Khalil Ware. You can get them guys. Okay? You might be able to catch them guys at that level of the draft. And then, you could work with one of them for the next 2 or 3 years and see what you got. I'm telling you, I like Deron Holmes, man. I like his game. And Khalil Ware has a possibility of becoming a guy that can play a 4 or a 5. He can definitely play the 5. Okay. And there's definitely going to be challenges in order. You're taking a little bit of a risk. I'm not saying he's a bad kid, but you're taking a little bit of a risk with attitude. You got to talk to Woodson and find out from Woodson what kind of attitude this kid has. But talent-wise, Ware has the physical ability to be like the boy in Cleveland, Evan Turner. Evan, what's his name? Evan. What Evan, you guys know what I'm talking about. Evan over there in Cleveland. Whoa, what's the boy's name? Let me catch him. He has the ability to be like Evan Mobley. He has that type, Evan Mobley. He has Evan Mobley ability. Ware does. He does. I don't know if he'll realize the ability, like if it will become real, but he has the talent to be Evan Mobley. He does. So he could play the 5 and he could play the 4. That's what I'm saying. If you think you could develop that, and if he could willing to work hard and bide his time, he can replace Julius Randle in 2 years or 3 years. Or Deron Holmes could do that. That's why you might pick one of those guys. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if by some stupidity miracle, I don't say, but if Hartenstein was not signed with New York, you might see Edie. That's why they're looking at Edie. If Hartenstein decide I'm going to go to Orlando for $70 million, whatever, then you might see Edie get drafted. Somebody like that. Or Ware, who can play the 5. But you're going to start Mitch Robb. He's going to be hurt. So you're going to have Precious behind him. Precious is solid at the 5 spot, a backup 5. Precious is solid. So you could get Precious cheap, keep Precious, and now you're going to draft a rook that can play the 5 eventually. That's how you do it. But yeah, I know Mobley, they have the chalk out still because his ankles are on the floor because Deuce did that one hand cross on him and kind of messed him up a little bit. That's right, Russell Reed. That's exactly right. Deuce did that one hand cross on him and did him up. Oh my gosh, man. They got the chalk out for that boy. No, it seems like Porter has over his back issues for the most part. He's playing at a high level. Him and Aaron Gordon are playing at a high level for Denver right now. They just got beat by a better team this year, They just got beat. The Minnesota was better. And watch Minnesota. Minnesota ain't finished yet. Ant is just getting warmed up. So watch Minnesota. But I'm just saying, you never know. MPG 2 years from now, you never know what's going. Now he's gonna play for Denver this coming season. Now, but I'm saying 2 years from now, we don't know. Yeah, exactly, Keith. That's true. That's what I'm saying. So let's see what happens. The Don gonna roll this dice the way he gonna roll it. But let's just see what happens. But I think the Knicks will extend Julius. I'm just not sure of the number. But if it is 181, then it's going to be with a team option in the 4th year. There's just that's not going to be negotiable, because in the 4th year you're going to need that $40 million to pay somebody else or a couple of players that you can bring in. So yeah, that's why I'm saying watch Ware, watch Deron Holmes, those type of guys that can play the 4 to 5 spot. Watch those type of guys. Filipowski is he a 4 or a 5? I forgot. What is Filipowski? Filipowski plays. Let me just. That's the guy. He's coming out of Duke, right? Filipowski's coming out of Duke, if I'm not mistaken. He's coming out of Duke. Let me just see. Yeah, he's coming out of Duke. He's a 5. He's 20 years old. I don't know. We have to see. Filipowski, we have to see. He's right now. Tankathon got him at 17. If he goes at 17, forget the Knicks. The Knicks are not going to pick. They're not moving up to pick him. All right. We didn't already discuss that. So if he go right now, Tankathon got him going at 17. Let me just look at the mock draft. They got him listed at 17. Let me see. They got him going 14 to Portland. If so he's in the lottery. If he's in the lottery, the Knicks are not going to pick him. All right. Yeah, they're not going to pick him, especially if you're talking about Khalil Ware and Deron Holmes being available. Why would you go and pick Filipowski? You know what I'm saying? There's not that much different in talent. In fact, the two latter guys might have more talent, and you're definitely going to pay cheaper money. And you guys know the Don, he's not going to overpay for somebody. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's not going to overpay. But Filipowski, depending on how – now, Filipowski was to drop to 22, 24. Anything's possible then. You understand? It depends on how the draft goes, but and I'm just going by Tankathon. They got him going 14th to Portland. They got him ranked top 17 in the draft on the big board. So if that's true, and honestly, I did look at some of his video. I don't see a marginal difference between Khalil Ware and him. Do y'all seriously though? I don't see a marginal difference between Kyle Filipowski and Khalil Ware as far as talent. I don't think Filipowski could play the 4, where I do think Khalil Ware has a possibility of playing a 4. He can play a 5 or a 4. Okay, I like both. He has the talent. Yeah, so I still like Khalil Ware better than Filipowski. Filipowski went to a big program, and so did Khalil Ware. Indiana's a big program. So I don't know. We have to see. But I like Ware he's at a big program. He's 20 years old, and he does well, but he can still hit threes though, right? Just Knicks. I'm not saying he's Curry, but he can hit threes. And he's got that nice stroke from the 3. Plus he's got the defense. Now, if I'm the Knicks, I'm leaning toward Ware for a couple of reasons. He's young, he's athletic, he can develop in the 2 or 3 seasons you need him to develop. And Woodson was his coach. And Woodson has a long history with Leon, right? That's important, So Woodson was his coach. And don't let him sign with CAA. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, you see that? So I don't see if there's marginal difference, if there's head and shoulder difference, then that's a different thing. Okay. But if there's marginal difference, I can see the Knicks going with Ware anyway, not trying to move up to get Filipowski. So as far as Filipowski, nice player coming out of a nice program. But if he goes higher than 20, the Knicks are not going to get him. The Knicks are not going to get him. Okay. Yeah, I like Joe Curry. Now, you said something I agree with. I like Edie for Toronto. Toronto is another team that's been looking for a consistent 5. Podol was the guy, But I don't know if Podol is really the guy. He's young enough, I don't know. But they need another 5. Even if they keep Podol, they need another 5. Edey would be a candidate. He would be a candidate. Filipowski would be a candidate. There's a couple of kids actually that are at the 5 spot. Sar. Well, who's picking first? Atlanta's picking first. When is Toronto picking? When is the Raptors picking anyway? Did they lose their pick? What the hell? Where's Toronto picking? 19? Picking 19. And these fools got him kicking a point guard? Oh my God. Stop it. So I'm wondering where these guys get their information from. I could see them getting Edey or Ware at that spot at 19 if I'm Toronto. Yeah. I don't know why they got them picking a point guard, but yeah, I don't know why they got him picking a point guard. Is Edey Canadian? Oh, that makes perfect sense, Joe Curry. That makes perfect sense. Now you see, Joe Curry, we do agree on this. That's possible. That's entirely possible. In fact, I think if Edey is going to get picked at that level where we're talking now, where at 19, Toronto's probably the best candidate to pick him at that spot. If for whatever reason he slips past Toronto, he might go all the way to the bottom of the first round. They got also the Tankathon got him being taken by Milwaukee at 23. I can see that. That's possible. If you're wanting to rebuild around this kid and he come out of Middle America anyway, but we'll see. That's possible. That's possible. But yeah, I don't know where Edey's going to go. To me, the Knicks, I'm only interested in Knicks, and they're only interested with him at the bottom of the first or the second round if he falls the second round. And my problem with Edey is I'm not sure of his motor. I'm sure of his skill. I'm sure of his 7'4" wingspan. I'm sure of his height. I'm sure of his offensive moves on the post. I am not sure of his motor. Not sure of his motor. That's the problem I have with him. And if you're going to play for the Knicks, this is a non-negotiable. Motor you must have. Non-negotiable. Okay? You can't come to the Knicks with no motor. Yeah, you're going to have that. So if he doesn't, forget it. He's not coming to New York. Now, where is questionable with that? I don't know about his motor. He has the skill. He has the ability. We'll see. Holmes definitely got the motor. Ryan Dunn definitely got the motor. There's no doubt those two kids got the motor. Even Keyshawn George, he seems to have a little bit, probably has a motor. The kid out of California, Jalen he's got a nice motor. Iguodaro's got a nice motor. Yeah, he can. I'm not discounting Cody. He could have a motor, but I'm not as sold on it as I am on other guys' motor. There's some guys that it pops out at you. Ryan Dunn's motor, right? That compare them motor-wise, not in terms of talent, but motor-wise. Compare Ryan Dunn to Khalil Ware. The thing that pops out you when you see Dunn, he's got a motor, man. That boy can keep going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He's bringing energy. You understand? He's bringing energy. So I don't know that Ware doesn't have it. He might, but that's for the Knicks to find out, when they go through their process. Yeah, so that's for the Knicks to find out when they go through their process. So that's the thing. But so if the Knicks go, and honestly, I know some of y'all, and I too, the Knicks really would be really good with Mikal Bridges. They would be really good with Mikal Bridges. But I want to see them run the same team back healthy. That's what I want. If you ask me what I want, I'm not going to argue with you if you say I want Mikal Bridges, because Mikal Bridges, I want Mikal Bridges. But I want to see them run the same team back healthy. I want to see them do that. I want to see them run the same team back healthy. Trey McGriff, D'Anthony Melton as free agent backup to Brunson. I hate when people bring up a backup to Brunson because Deuce is the backup. God damn it. Deuce is the damn backup. When y'all going to catch that? I hate when people do that. Oh, it burns me up. Deuce is the backup point guard. And he earned that shit. He earned it. Oh, that drives me crazy. I know, Trey. I need to calm down. I got you, Trey. I got you. I need to calm down. I agree. But damn, that burns me up. Deuce is the backup point guard. Let me say it again. Deuce McBride is the backup point guard. Let me say it one more time. Deuce McBride is the backup point guard. You may not think he's a pure point guard. I don't give a crap what you think. The Knicks do. He's the backup point guard. The Knicks just signed him as the backup point guard. They don't need to go get another one. They got one. That burns me up. I hate, you want to get me all fired up? Do what Trey just did. Mention we need to go get a backup point guard for Brunson. Anyway, we got our backup point. Trey, you're right. I need to calm down. Trey McGriff is right. Let me take a deep breath and calm down. Thank you, Trey. Now, somebody asked me who's going to back up DiVincenzo. And that's a legit question. But again, let me ask you all a question. Who backed up DiVincenzo this past season? Who was DiVincenzo? And DiVincenzo tough as freaking nails, so he may not need a backup. But who was the guy to come in for DiVincenzo this past season? There were two guys. I'll give you a hint. They played a lot. They're in the rotation. Hart, that's right. Thank you, Joe Curry. Hart and Deuce. So you had Hart, Deuce, DiVincenzo, and Brunson. They were really on a wheel, and they were mixing, and Tibbs was mixing, and he likes to do that. He was mixing and matching those four guys, right? So you had Deuce playing with Brunson sometimes. You had Hart playing with Deuce sometimes. You had DiVincenzo and Brunson. He likes to mix them up. And he loves Hart because that's why we call Hart the Swiss Army knife. He can play the 2, the 3, or the 4. And he played all of those positions for the Knicks this year. Right? He played all of those positions for the Knicks. The 2, the 3, the 4. And that's another reason you may want to keep Bodega 44. Right? Because now if you have Bodega 44, you got Hart, Deuce, Mitch Rob, and Bodega. I know Precious would be out in that scenario. But you want to back up 2, Bodega. You want to back up 3, Bodega. Right? You got, and you can surround Bodega with 4 defenders. OG, Deuce, Devo, Hart. You can surround Jewel. You can surround Bodega 44 with Roughnecks, if you want to. So me, myself, I'd like to see them running back. Now, I was starting to tell you why Burks is not coming back. Y'all know he changed agents. He was with CAA. He's not with CAA anymore. He's with Clutch. Y'all know that? He's with Clutch. Y'all know Burks changed agents, number 1. Number 2, if OG Anunoby was healthy, which we hope he is this coming year, and if Julius Randle was healthy, Burks would not have seen the court. Because Deuce earned now those minutes. We saw that this season. We're not guessing. Deuce more than earned his spot. So Deuce is going to get all of those minutes that Burks would have got. If Bodega wasn't hurt, if Jew wasn't hurt, and OG, and I'm going to tell you something, 2 of those 3 guys are not going to be hurt this coming year, so Burks won't play. Burks is just coming off a $10 million, the last $10 million of this. I think it was 10 he just got, Burks. I think he just got $10 million. Let me just make sure I'm not lying to you. Because Burks he's an unrestricted free agent. Let me see here. Alec Burks. Oops. I just messed up. Alec Burks. Let me get him up here. Alec Burks is... Yes, he just came off of the last year of his deal, and he just made $10 million, and he's on a club option. Well, he just got the $10 million. He just got that exercise for 23-24. He's an unrestricted free agent. The Knicks are not going to pay him. because he's not going to be in the rotation. Alec Burks has been around a long time. He knows he's not going to be in the rotation. So he's not coming back. Okay? Does that make sense, y'all? Burks, you got to have a 9-man rotation, not a 10, 9. And 3 guaranteed spots on that 9-man rotation. 3 guaranteed spots is Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, and Josh Hart. You're just trying to decide whether you want Bodega, do you want Precious, do you want another guy, Caruso or Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith? You're trying to decide on the 9th guy. And I can guarantee you it's not going to be Burks. Guaranteed. Okay. Now, Precious might stay with the Knicks and bide his time, and because he'll get his chance, because Bodega only going to be around 1 more year. That's it. So if he wants to bide his time and and wait 1 year and get his little bit money, I could see that. I could see that. They might be able to keep both if that's the case. But honestly, I want them to run it back. I love Mikal Bridges. Don't get me wrong. I told y'all last summer, that's the number 1 target for the Knicks, Mikal Bridges. But if they just decide to run it back, I'll be happy with that. I'll be very excited if they decide to run it back. Trey McGriff, they don't need a pure scorer off the bench. They have everything they need. If they came back with Bodega, 44, and Deuce, there's your answer. That's plenty enough. Plenty enough. Plenty enough. Okay? Stop trying to create. Well, we need that. No, we don't need anything except all our guys to come back. We don't need a damn thing. We need all our guys to come back. That's all we need. Come back healthy. We good. We got the backup point guard. We got the pure scorer off the bench. We got Swiss Army knife. We got Mitchell Brown. We got enough. We really do. Got enough. That would be nice, though, if they can keep Bodega and Precious. Precious is on a restricted free agency right now. Precious, I'm trying not to crush houses because Trey was right. I calmed down a little bit, but I get excited with Deuce McBride and people start talking about we need a backup point guard to Brunson, and we got one already who earned that spot and played damn good basketball. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. Exactly. I just told you. Why you trying to specialize a guy, McGriff? What, you want a specialist? There's no specialist. The Knicks don't need no damn specialist. What specialist? What? Who's going to be the scorer? Whoever has the ball. Who has the ball? Who's open? That's the specialist. Who's open? So look. Let's say, for the sake of argument, they keep Bodega. Bodega would become your 9th guy. Okay. So you have Bodega, and you know how Tibbs does this. It'll be Hart, Bodega, Deuce, Mitch Rob, and one of the starters. It could be Brunson, it could be Dante, it could be Jew, it could be OG. You're going to have one of those guys, and probably all of them are going to take their turns running with the second unit, okay, until Tibbs gets comfortable with one of them. So that's how you're going to do it. And the Knicks they're a little bit like the 72 Knicks, who's open. The open man takes the shot. See, stop trying to specialize the Knicks. Please stop. The open man takes the shot. Whether it's Deuce, whether it's Hart, whether it's Bodega, the open man takes the shot. That's it. Yeah, they can. They both showed they can. So there's no need to be talking about we need a scorer off the bench. We don't. A pure shooter. We don't. We got what we need. We got everything we need right now. We just need them to come back healthy. Got everything we need. You got everything we need. We got the squad we need. Okay? So, and I'm excited. Bodega 44, he's an old dude. That's an old Negro. That's an old Eastern Bloc dude. But he's 6'7", 230. And boy could shoot. And you put him with 4 defenders around him. We just saw that. I was calling him Bodega 44 bum because of how stinky he was when he first came. But you put 4 defenders around him, and he played very well, man. So you bring him back healthy. What was it, a wrist, Bodega? Was it a wrist injury? I think it was a wrist injury, right? That's what he messed his wrist up. He had to have surgery on it. He's a tough old Eastern Bloc dude, though. Bring that boy back. Yeah. So Risk an ankle? Okay. Bring that boy back healthy and let him come off your bench as the ninth guy, and we're in good shape, man. We're in good shape. Tyler Kolek is a point guard. You got Jokubaitis who can't even get on the team. And Jokubaitis is better than any point guard in this draft. Roku Jokubaitis is better than any point guard in this draft. And he can't even get on the team because he can't get no minutes. See? So Roku Jokubaitis is a trade bait. That's future number one pick. You can use that. Or if you're going to get McCall, add him in the deal. Because Jokubaitis could ball. He really can. And he's ready to play. But there's no minutes. Where is he going to play? There's only a 9-man rotation. There's a 9-man rotation. So where's he going to play? He's not in the 9 guys. If they keep Precious, he's not even in the 10 guys. See? So I like Jokubaitis. I think that was a really good pick. And that's just a testament to how deep the Knicks are. Yeah, I like Precious. I ain't got nothing. Like I said, they can go either way to me. Precious, Bodega, both, whatever they want to do. They can go either way. Okay? I'm no problem. They don't got to worry about Bodega because that $19 million is already on the books. That's his expiring deal. Okay? Then they got Precious. He's $6.7 million, something like that, $7 million. They could do that. Then you got the rest of the guys. You know, you sign Juju, you want to do the $180 million, 4th-year team option. You're going to sign Brett Brunson again. Okay. OG's getting 140. Fine. We moving on, baby. We good. We good. Deuce is already signed. Hart is already signed. Devo's already signed. Mitch Rob's already signed. We good. We good, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, we good. I wouldn't say that, Cody. He's still a rookie, man. Some of y'all place too much emphasis on that damn European League. That ain't the league. The European League is barely NC2A. So I wouldn't place too much emphasis on that Euro League. I'm not saying Joku can't play, but you're trying to tell me a rookie going to be valuable in the play. No, he wouldn't even be 3rd string. They had Shake Milton, who's a vet. He didn't play. You see that? They had Shake Milton. He hardly played. Garbage time. And he would have been in front of Jokubaitis. That's what I'm saying. Come on, y'all. That's what I'm saying. No. So Jokubaitis, I hate to see him rotting. I don't think he's going to continue to do that. He's going to want to play somewhere. If he comes to the Knicks, maybe he starts to get that third or 4th string light this year. You know, he comes to he would definitely be on the roster, Jokubaitis. Jokubaitis would be on the roster, and they'd be doing what they did to Deuce a couple of years ago. He'd be going down to the G League and getting 40 minutes, then coming back for the Knicks games. That's what he'd do. No, they're not going to keep Shake Milton. I doubt they're going to keep Shake Milton. I doubt it. Especially if some of you are talking about Jokubaitis. They brought Jokubaitis and brought him on the roster, which I like Jokubaitis now. I think he should be on the roster. I'm not expecting to be a big-time contributor. I think that's unrealistic, but I like him on the roster. And, yeah, but the Knicks are stacked. They really are. Brunson ain't going nowhere. Deuce ain't going nowhere. Devo ain't going nowhere. You got a stacked squad, man. You really do. And so, and I don't know I know Jokubaitis is a crafty player. He really is crafty on like not on the level of Brunson, but he's the style of Brunson. Crafty dude, nice footwork. I don't know about his defense. He is 6'4", though. He's 6'4". So I don't know what his defense is like. And you and I both know, unless he can play defense, he's not going to play. No defense, no bueno. So I think he might be trade bait this coming draft, this season. We'll see what happens. He might be trade bait. We'll see what happens. Yeah. No, Joe Curry, you say he may have helped. Why do you say that? He did not play. He couldn't have helped because he didn't play. And it wasn't because he was coming from another roster. So was Bodega 44. He played. So was Burks. He played. Shake didn't play. And there was opportunities for him to play. Tibbs didn't trust him. Come on, let's be real. Come on. You telling me to come on, Joe? You come on. He ain't played. He ain't going to play. He's not going to be back. He's going to go somewhere where he could play. He's a solid player, but come on. He ain't like he's going to be no savior or nothing. Come on. Yeah, I heard that too, Tony. I read that he was going to play Summer League. I can see that. I think if he plays Summer League, he's going to rock. Because he rocked the last Summer League he played, to be honest with you. Jokubaitis played Summer League like 2 years ago, and he rocked. I think he's going to rock. And I also think he's playing for a spot on another team. He'd be rehearsing to be traded. That's what I think. I think if he played in the Summer League, he's going to rock it, and he's going to be rehearsing to be traded to some other team. So the Don going to pick up some more draft capital. The Don going to pick up some more draft capital, man, for Jokubaitis. I like Jokubaitis, though. I feel bad for him. He just can't get into he's not going to be able to break the roster. He's not going to be able to. Jokubaitis is past playing for Westchester. He got drafted by the Knicks 3 years ago. So he's ready to play somewhere. He's not going to play for New York. So, unless he wanted to wait some more. And I don't know when he would play. It's the same. He's in a similar situation to Emmanuel Quickley. Emmanuel Quickley wants to start. I told y'all that last year. And he was not going to be able to start because they got Jalen Brunson. And Brunson's going to be your starter for the next 4 years, maybe 5. So whoever's looking to start can forget it. Deuce is just turning 24 years old. He ain't going nowhere either. So if you want to get backup point guard minutes, that's out too. So what are you going to do? Wait for the third string? If you want to play, you got to go somewhere else. So if I'm Jokubaitis, that's a guy that's a candidate to go to a Charlotte or a Detroit, where he can try to fight his way to get into the rotation. That's what you want. Or if the Nets are signed to rebuild, that's a guy you can get in the rotation in Brooklyn if they're going to be trading everybody away. That's what if I'm Jokubaitis' agent, that's what I'm looking to do. I'm using the Summer League to showcase my client, and I'm looking for teams that are looking for a guy that can give him a chance at the rotation. That's Brooklyn, that's Detroit, that's Charlotte, Washington, teams like that. These type of teams are teams that he can maybe fight his way into the rotation. Maybe if Toronto loses the guy off the bench, I forgot his name, but that's another team he can maybe fight for some minutes on. So there's like 3, 4, 5 teams he might be able to fight, get some minutes. You showcase him, and you see who's willing to give up that second round pick. And because Knicks picked him in the second round, give me a high second rounder, and we can move on with life. Yeah. And that'd be a right price for him. Or he can be involved with a Mikal Bridges deal. He could. So that's what we're talking about. Okay. Jacob is not enough of a needle mover, even the slightest. He wouldn't even be a salary filler. He's only getting like $1.8 million. He wouldn't even be a salary filler. I think Jacob stays with the Knicks, and the Knicks let him play Summer League, and the Knicks are showcasing him to see if he can get on the regular roster and make the roster. And I think he can. I'm pulling for Jake to make the roster. And, even get a little bit of minutes like he did when the Knicks were decimated and they played against Orlando. He got a few minutes there, a few rotation minutes there. If I'm Jacob, that's what I'm looking for. I want to stay in New York. I want to see if I can get a small contract, maybe 3 years, $6 million, something like that. And I think I'm really banking on Jacob Toppin showing out in Summer League. I think he's going to. I have the faith in Jacob. I think he's going to show out in Summer League. He's going to make the 15-man roster, and I hope he gets a contract. I want to see him get a contract. See, not everybody's getting 40, 50 million a year. If you're Jacob Toppin and you can get $6 million, for the next 3 years, that you take that, you take that. Yeah, Roku's going to play Summer League, Joe Kerr. It's already been reported. He's going to play Summer League. Roku Jokubaitis is playing Summer League. Yeah. So play the Summer League. He can play the Summer League and see what he does. Jacob Toppin's going to play the Summer League, see what he does, and we're going to go from there. Yeah. So I like Roku. I like both of those kids, but I think Roku's got a harder road to hoe with the Knicks. Knicks are stacked. in the one spot. They are stacked. So there's no way that he's going to get any minutes. So if he wants to stay on the Knicks and be on a regular rotation, he could do that. Like I said, if I was his agent looking out for his best interest, I'm looking to the Knicks to start him in the summer league, start him at the 1 or the 2 in summer league, and then let him go off. And I'm trying to pitch to Detroit, Charlotte, Toronto, maybe Chicago if they're going to rebuild. Teams like that, Detroit. And I want my guy to get a chance. I want him to have a fair opportunity to make a rotation. That's what I would do. No, Joe Curry. You're not getting a player back. You're trading him for draft capital, future draft pick. That's what you're getting back. A second-round pick. That's what you want. You trade him for. You're not looking for a player. You're looking for a second-round pick. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You let Roku and Toppin play together in some league. That's going to be exciting to watch, man. I'd like to see that. Toppin's got something to prove. Roku's got something to prove. This is going to be good, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see that. And I want to see Jacob be on a 15-man roster next season with a contract, not no G League contract. I like to see him get a regular contract like Jericho did. Jericho made the team, got contract, older player for a rookie, and he's like 26, Jericho Sims. He's going to be like 26 this year. You get a guy like that, give him a contract. That for some of the players, man, that to get $5, $6, $7 million in their career, that's a lot of freaking money. Okay, that's a lot of money, man. You take that. So I'd like to see Jacob get that kind of money. Get his $5, $6, $7 million guaranteed contract, and then Jokubaitis go to another team and get a chance to make the rotation, where he wouldn't get that with the Knicks. Now, Joe Curry, you want to talk about Chicago? That's a team, if they're going to rebuild, because we know for sure Lonzo ain't going to, Lonzo might play this year to try to fool somebody into giving them big money the next year, but he ain't reliable. So you could get maybe some backup men behind a Kobe White and Ayo DeSumo if you're Jokubaitis, see? Especially if they're going to rebuild. That's what you want to do, that kind of thing, what you're looking at. That's what I would do. If I was representing Jokubaitis, that's what I'd be looking to get. That's what I'd be looking to get. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see them run this team back and, see what we can do healthy. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Cody. No, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out. But I think we can expect to see Jokubaitis and Jacob Toppin on the Summer League together. They're probably going to highlight the Summer League team. And if the Knicks draft a guy in the first round, that guy with them, whether it's Deron Holmes, Khalil Ware, or whoever, if it's Furphy, whoever they end up drafting in the first round, that guy also with Jokubaitis and with Jacob Toppin will highlight the Summer League. That'll be the highlight this summer. AP, it doesn't matter. Y'all not getting it. I don't give a crap how good he is. He's not breaking the Knicks rotation. He's not. What you think? He's going to play in front of Brunson? Deuce? Stop it. Devo? Come on, man. Stop it. Hart? Oh, come on now. It doesn't matter how good he is. If he wants to sit, and I don't think the boy wants to sit anymore. He's been waiting a while. The Knicks have moved on. They got their rotation. They got young guys. They got talent. We ready to go. We need to run the team back and see if we can get this chip. So Jokubaitis is not involved with this. But like I said, he might be able to go to another team, a Chicago, a Detroit, a Charlotte, a Toronto, a Washington Wizards, where he can fight for rotation minutes. He might be able to do that. Okay, he might be able to do that. Yeah, he is Darren Hood. He is technically a free agent, but I think the Knicks are going to give him a shot to come back. I think he is. I think they are. They're going to give him a shot to come back. AP, what if he's better than Jordan? What if he's better than Jordan? AP, have you been paying attention to the Knicks for 4 years? Do you know how they do things? Do you know that you got to earn your spot with the Knicks? They don't just think you're better and replace a guy that has earned his spot. They don't do that. This is the new culture. This ain't, maybe you forgot. This is Leon Rose's Knicks. This is not Isaiah Thomas's Knicks. Okay? Please. Let's get in reality here. Come on. Yeah, God forbid the injury bug should hit the Knicks early this year. That would be a Reggie Phillip. That would be a nightmare. Nightmare. So I'm hoping everybody comes back healthy and they all, ready to go in September. That's what and it looks like they're headed that way. It really does at this point. I hope Detroit brings back Malachi Flynn. Didn't he drop 50 in Detroit this past season after he left the Knicks? I think Malachi Flynn had a 50-point game, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Detroit keeps him around. Malachi's a solid player. And I'm not saying the Knicks. See, if you're a Knicks fan, you don't even speak about nightmare scenarios. If you want to be negative and an a-hole, you start talking about nightmare scenarios with the Knicks, because that's what most of these a-holes do. But if you are a Knicks fan, you want everybody to come back healthy and let them run it back. If you're a Knicks fan. If you're a Nets fan, oh yeah, you can start talking about nightmare scenarios. Some of you don't understand what it means to be a fan. If you're a fan of the team, you're always hoping for the best. You don't worry about the worst. You're hoping for the best. I don't know. They owe him a lot of money, Reggie. They got to give him at least another year. They just Monty Williams is on a guaranteed 4-year deal, I think. If I'm not mistaken, let me just look up his contract. But I think Monty Williams' contract. I think his contract with the Pistons is 6 years, $78 million. So they're not firing him anytime soon. Yeah, they're not firing him anytime soon. Okay, they're not firing him anytime soon. They're going to keep Monty Williams. You understand that when they hired him, they know it's a rebuild, right? So they're going to give him a couple of years of losing seasons and then look for some improvement in his third season. Not this one, but his third season. And also remember, part of the problem in Detroit is that they haven't had the point guard healthy for a whole season yet. They haven't had him healthy yet, and he could play. They haven't had him healthy yet for a whole season. That number 1 overall pick, Cade Cunningham, they hadn't had him healthy yet for a whole season. So we're going to see how this works. But I'm following Detroit. That's another team I'm following. So let's see what happens. Okay, that's another team. I liked Oklahoma City when they were rebuilding. I like Detroit. They haven't found their footing yet in the rebuild. To me, key to their footing is getting Cade Cunningham healthy. And I think they've decided to start developing Jalen Duren, which they should. And they got Beef Stew. That's a solid 5 spot. They need them to. And they got Von Tecchio showed himself too. They got the Thompson kid, who's going to have to fight with Quentin Grimes. They got Jaden Ivey, Quentin Grimes, and Sasser. All of them going to be fighting. They got a nice young core of talent. They just need to stay healthy and develop them. And I like Detroit going forward. The key thing, though, is they need Cade Cunningham to play a full season. I don't think he's played 70 games yet. Okay, they didn't play 70 games yet. So you got to give them time to gel. I think Grimes is due for a contract this year. I think you're right about that. I think he is due for a contract this year. Let me just double check that, make sure I ain't lying. I think this was his 4th season. Or was it his 3rd season? Let me see here. Let's take a look at Mr. Quentin Grimes. Oh, no, they picked up his club option, so he's got another year. He's not restricted until next summer. So Quentin, this is a big year for Quentin. He's getting $4 million this year, and this is a big year for him. So he's not a free agent yet. They just picked up his club option, so he's going to be back next year, and we got to see what happens. This is a big year for Quentin Grimes. Yeah. He just finished his 3rd season. He's going to be in his 4th season next year. Yeah, so this coming season, 24-25. Yeah. I thought Malachi dropped 50 this year with Detroit. He dropped 50. I think they're going to keep him. So we'll see. Yeah, Reggie. To answer your question, though, Grimes is up next summer. is his summer. So he's got to do some stuff this year. Yeah, I think Creativai Lou, I can't say it right. I think you're right. They're probably run this back, and unless they get Mikal Bridges, they're going to run this back and maybe add one piece to the bench. If Bodega, they decide against Bodega or Precious, we'll see. If that's another big if, I don't know. It's hard to see, but Jaden Ivey can possibly fit. The problem with Jaden Ivey is I thought he'd be better on defense than he is. I thought coming out of Purdue, he would play better defense. He's played horrible defense up to this point, but he's still a young player now, so maybe he can develop it. That's my problem with Ivey. I'm not worried about offense. If you want to win, you got to play defense. Cunningham can play defense. Cunningham can. I'm looking to see if Ivey can play defense. That's Ivey's weakness. If he doesn't pick up his defense this year, he'll be coming off the bench as a scorer off the bench. He has to play defense. I'm looking for that, and I'm sure Monty Williams is looking for that. I need him to play NBA level defense, and I need him to do it consistently. He hasn't. He hasn't. That speed he has is great offensively. You want to play 150-point games? Cool. But I think Monty Williams is looking for some defense. He's going to have it with Grimes. He got it with Cade Cunningham. He got it even with Sasser. Sasser plays better defense than Jaden Ivey. We're going to see how this works out. Shout out, Carlos. I can't have, Carlos, I've come to the conclusion, HP Carlos, that my favorite wines are from Portugal. I've come to that conclusion. I didn't really realize that before. Sangria comes from Portugal, and port wine comes from Portugal. And then I had this other wine in Toronto that was Portuguese. It was delicious. I think I'm a Portugal guy. I may have to visit Portugal. I told my wife, we may have to go to Portugal. We may have to go visit Lisbon. May have to go see Lisbon, man. May have to go see Lisbon, see what happened. Got to see what happened. I like Portuguese wines, man. This is kind of my favorite wines now. I'm looking at them, I was like, wait, I like Portuguese wine. Actually, Kimberly, I disagree with you. Cade does play very good positional defense. He's played very good defense in terms of also team defense. Cade, I like defensively. I'm not worried about Cade. Cade, to me, has it all. Cade can play both sides, and he can do it well. He just needs to stay healthy. I disagree with you there. I think Cade can play both sides of the ball. He needs some help now. But he's got the tools to play good defense. He does. Cade is and I love his IQ. Cade is that guy, man. He just hasn't been able to show it yet because his team sucks. But I'm not worried about Cade. If you put a defender next to him, either Sasser or Grimes, in my opinion, yeah. Keith Blocker, thanks for the $5. I agree with you. ECF for the Knicks this year. But if you put Sasser or Grimes, both of them come out of Kelvin Sampson, University of Houston, you play in defense. So you put both of them cats, any of them cats next to Cade, I like them. I like that. That's what I'm saying. I want to see some defense from Jaden Ivey. If I don't, he's got to sit. And I know Monty Williams, he's going to want to see some defense. All that speed, again, is nice, very nice. But it'll do you no good if you can't guard nobody. Duran, again, that's another guy. He's got the defensive goods. He's just like any other five. He needs time to develop. I like Jalen Duran. He's just like any other five, though, in the league. It's a tough position to learn. He needs time, and he's going to be really good. When they got that crew, Duran, Cunningham, Ivey, Grimes, Sasser, you got a solid team right there. A really nice base to build. They just got to stay healthy, especially Cunningham. If he can, they're going to be pretty darn good. I like Detroit in a couple of years. I'm not, don't sleep on them. They're another team you could beat up now, but you ain't going to be able to beat them up in about 3 years. Yeah, that's right. And it takes time. It takes time. Ivy wouldn't even break the rotation with the Pacers. He wouldn't even break the rotation. Do you know what rotation they got now? They got, TJ McConnell coming off the bench. They got Benedict Mathurin. He wouldn't even break the rotation. That's what I'm saying. Ivy wouldn't even break the pace of rotation. He wouldn't play in front of TJ McConnell coming off the bench. He damn sure ain't playing in front of Obi, and he ain't playing in front of Mathurin. Yeah. No, he wouldn't even make the rotation. Now he don't want to play. He don't want to go to Indiana because he wouldn't play. He don't want to go to Indiana. He won't play. Mathurin is that guy, man. I'm telling y'all. So Mathurin can do both ends, baby. Mathurin is that guy. Told y'all that when he was at Arizona. I liked him, man. Shoot. Benedict Mathurin is that dude. Yeah. No, he wouldn't play. No. Ivy needs to develop defense, and he's in the right spot to do it. He's got the right coach to do it. So I want to see what happens with him. He's got talent. There's no doubt Jaden Ivey's talented. There's no doubt. He's very talented. But can he play defense on the NBA level? Not everybody can. Okay? Now, say what you want about Quentin Grimes. He guards all the toughest guys. And I saw Sasser. Sasser also can guard anybody. They both of them are tough kids. They come out of the same program, and they both play tough defense. So this is going to be interesting. I'm watching Detroit this year. I want to see what Monty does with these kids, man. Okay? I want to see what he does with these kids. And then Thompson, too. Thompson, he's raw, no pun intended, but I think he's got the goods, too. He's going to come along. It's going to be a minute now. I'm expecting a jump, though. I'm expecting a jump from Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren this year. I'm expecting a jump. And I'm expecting a jump in his contract year of Quentin Grimes. So we'll see how this works out. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I like to watch teams that are up and coming. I like to watch developing teams. That's why I liked watching Oklahoma City. I knew they was going to be good. I like watching Detroit because they're going to be good. I liked watching Orlando because they were going to be good. And here they all are. Charlotte's got to break this whole thing down and start over. And that's why they traded Gordon Hayward. They got to get rid of it. They traded Washington. They got to get rid of everybody, start over, and hope, which is my concern with LaMelo Ball coming out into the league, was durability. And as you all have seen, he cannot stay healthy. All world talent, but it's no good if you ain't playing. It's no good if you ain't playing. So we'll see. But Charlotte's got to start over. I don't even like watching them. They're playing bad basketball now. They don't even have a good foundation yet. They don't have a good foundation yet. They're playing bad basketball. I don't like watching bad basketball. Detroit plays good basketball. They're just too young to finish games. They don't know how to do it yet. But they're coming. I like Detroit. I like watching them. They're going to be good, man. They got the nice foundation to go forward. I like that team. So I'm going to keep watching them. They'll still be lottery probably next year, but hey, they're going to be good. Eventually, they're going to be good. I like watching teams like that. I'm going to like watching Toronto, too, with IQ leading from the beginning, with IQ from training camp, with our boy there, IQ, and I'm missing everybody. IQ, and I'm seeing his face and not remember his name. Out of sight, out of mind. Isn't that sad, yo? Out of sight, out of mind. That's sad. Dang. IQ and RJ, of course. RJ, IQ. And Scotty Barnes. I like that. I like that nucleus. RJ, IQ, and Scotty Barnes. I like that nucleus, man. That's a nice nucleus. They're going to take a couple of seasons, but I like that nucleus. The Knicks are not going to get Keith Block. I can 100% guarantee Donovan Mitchell is not going to be a New York Knick. 100% guarantee. Donovan Mitchell is not going to be a New York Knick. 100% guarantee. Mark it. Mark me right now. June 2nd. 100% guarantee Donovan Mitchell is not coming to Madison Square Garden. 100%. Okay? None. Not at all. No. Yeah, I decided to mind, man. Yes, please remind me because I'm telling you right now, and I will remind you. Come September, Donovan Mitchell will not be a New York Knicks. He might be a Miami Heat. I can see that. He might be a Miami Heat. I wouldn't be surprised. He's not going to be a Knick. And if Brooklyn is smart, they wouldn't be chasing him either. They go ahead and rebuild if they want to be smart about it. They go ahead and rebuild. But Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, I like that nucleus. What they can do with that, we'll see. Yeah, I'm guaranteeing you, Donovan Mitchell is not coming to New York. Guaranteed. Not. No. Yeah. Yet. Not coming. Nada. Mm-mm. He's not coming. So I'm not worried about that. I would just want them to run this back, and I think they want to do that. Did you hear Jalen Brunson the other day? The quote when he was wearing that Wawa hat. I don't know why he was wearing the Wawa hat. Maybe he owns some Wawa franchises, but did you hear him? He said people kept saying we were tired, and he said I got pissed off when they said that. You don't think Brunson wants to bring the same team back and show y'all that they could ball? I'm just saying. No, Mitchell's not coming to the Knicks. No, he's not. They're going to bring the same team back. The only guy that's the exception is the Villanova kid, Mikal Bridges. That's it. No, Cat ain't coming here. For what? I like Julius Randle better than Cat anyway. Cat ain't coming here. He's going to take them size 22s and stay right there in Minnesota. He can take them size 22s and stay right there in Minnesota. That's what he's going to do. Oh, man. LeBron James on the vet men means you better stop catching the vapors. You're catching the vapors, man. JL, stop catching the vapors, man. Get your face out that bong, man. Come on, man. I know that bong must be good to you. You catching the vapors, bro. LeBron and the vet men ain't no championship, man. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, man. Yeah, I like Alex Caruso. Like I said, there's Alex Caruso, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith. You get any of those guys for the Knicks bench, that's going to be an upgrade. Yeah, for real. Yeah. You catching Bismarcky the vapors, man. You catching the vapors, bro. Stop it. Right. Anybody talking about Bronny and LeBron catching the vapors, get your face out that lid. Y'all just messing up. Herb Jones ain't going nowhere. He's staying right there in New Orleans where he should. Because who's that guy down there? He ain't stupid. David Griffin, he ain't stupid. He keeping Herb Jones. Booker's, I don't know what's going to happen with Booker, but he ain't coming to the Knicks either. Y'all don't get it. When you got something good, you don't mess it up. You don't screw it up because of your dream player. The Knicks ain't stupid. You got something good right now. You got a team that could win a championship. Why are you going to F it up by talking about all these other guys? Why? Because you think you can make money betting on them or something? What is it? Oh, yeah. I ain't going to even answer some of y'all. Come on, man. Y'all crazy. Anyway, I'd like them to just run this back. Come back camp healthy in September. Run it back. I would like them to keep both Precious and Bodega. That would be nice. But they may have to choose between them. But I'd like to keep both of those guys. If we can bring back the same team and let Bodega be the ninth guy and let Precious wait in the rings when somebody get hurt, because you know OG going to get hurt. So you're going to have Precious out there. But let's bring them all back, run it back, and let's go get this chip, man. That's where we at right now. Can you believe it, though? Seriously, though. Before the Don got here, and even after it, for most of y'all knuckleheads, did you think the Knicks would be talking chip right now? That the New York Knicks, are legitimate Eastern Conference Finals contenders right now. Y'all realize that? You know what we got? You see what they built? You think it was accidental? They built this team? Do you think it was accidental that they built this squad? You think it just stumbled into it? Come on, y'all. They gonna run this thing back. You giving Tibbs a team that he knows, a team that he's comfortable with, a team of players that's his type of guys. That's what you're giving him. Jalen Brunson's gonna come with an attitude. I mean, really, we haven't been this good since Pat Riley coached the Knicks. Even the 99 team, that was a strike-shortened year. I think they played 50 games that year, and the Knicks were an 8 seed. And that was a tremendous year, but that was a Cinderella story. The really like the best teams the Knicks had with the last really good team was early 90s with Pat Riley. That was your best New York teams you had. The team that went to the finals against Houston, that was a legitly good team. That's the last time you had that kind of team. And now you got one again. And you'll keep talking about trading and this player and Booker and all of this. Man, stop. We good. We good. Keep this team. Bring them back healthy. Yes, we have it. What is it you don't understand, Craig Ward? Let's talk about long-term sustainable winning. They played 72 games 4 years ago. They won 41. 3 years ago, they won 37. 2 years ago, they won 40-something games. 47, I think it was. Last year, they won 50. So over 4 years, they were in the playoffs 3 times. And last year, they were second in the East. You know what that's called? Long-term, sustainable winning. They're coming into the season this year healthy, and they are a favorite to come out of the East. You know what that's called? Long-term, sustainable winning. Okay? Their oldest rotation piece, legit, is Juju. He's going to be 30. Deuce is 24. Hartenstein 25, Mitch is 26, Brunson's going to be 28, Hart's going to be 29. Hart might be 30. Devo's going to be 28. They're in their 20s. These are your main players. They can keep this level for the next 2 or 3 years. That's long-term sustainable winning. That's what you got right now. The Knicks are capable. Tell me, does anybody here think that the Knicks are not capable of winning 55 games this coming season? Can the Knicks win 55 games this coming season? What do you think? 24-25. Can they win 55? I think they can. I'm going to predict that they come back healthy this September, same team, 55 wins. I said 50 last year. 55 this year. See? Why would you mess with that? Why would you mess with that? I wouldn't. Don't mess with that. You see, just stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. Somebody talk about Jokubaitis. Okay, look. If Jokubaitis wants to wait 2 more years, yes, bring him in. Okay? Bring him in. If you want to wait 2 more years, bring him in, because then I think he'd be good enough in 2 years to step into that rotation with Deuce. No problem. Because now you're dealing with Brunson at 28. But Brunson's one of them crafty little dudes, man. He's probably going to be around till he's like 32 doing what he's doing right now. I'm trying to tell you, we good. We really are. We good. We good, man. The Knicks are ready. They're ready for Freddie. The rock real steady. That's all I'm saying. The Knicks ready for Freddie to rock real steady. You can't have 3 backups at every position, Joe Curry. It's unrealistic. You have 9 guys. And the key, Joe Curry, is you want to have 9 guys that can play multiple positions. So Deuce can play 2 or 1. Devo can play 2 or 1. Brunson's a 1, but he can play off the ball. Hart can play 2, 3, or 4. That's what you want. You want guys that can play and guard multiple positions. You can't have backups at every position. Third string guys at every spot. You can't do that. That's not realistic. That's not the league. So that's what you have. Now, you got them. You're going to really have a 9-man rotation. And if they bring back both Precious and Bodega, they won't have a 10-man rotation, but they got a 10th guy that can certainly come in and play. Okay? That's how you got to do it. The Knicks got what they need. They got what they need right now. If they wanted to draft, like I said, a power forward type, center type guy that can come in 2 years, that's cool. That's continuing a long-term sustainable winning. Absolutely. They could do that. Okay. When Juju starts to slow down, you got a guy, either Ware, Gerard Holmes, could be one of those. That's going to be able to step in and play. Or you get your guy Furphy, How tall is Furphy? Furphy is what, 6? Is he? I know he's at least 6'7", right, Furphy? Am I right? Furphy's at least 6'7". They got, Furphy 6'9". Furphy, they list him at 6'8 3/4. He almost 6'9". Yeah, so you get a guy like that. Furphy could play 3, back up 4. I like that. See, you're developing for the future. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You get a guy like that, or you get a guy like one of the guys I named. Furphy came in at 6'7". He grew because he came in at 6'7". But he's grown. Right now, they really measure these cats without sneakers. He's 6'8 3/4. So he's legit 6'9". Okay, we good. We don't have to worry about a point guard for another 2 years, Joe. We start looking at a point guard in about 2 seasons. Not right now. You don't have to worry about that. Deuce is durable. Brunson is durable. Okay, Brunson's going to give you 65 games. Fine. Plus playoffs. He'll be ready. Deuce can play as long as you need him to play. So you're good. You're good. You really are. You're not worried about point guard. You're good. You're good. Yeah. We're good to go. Yeah. Don is always the boss, but he consults with Tibbs. Just look at the draft. You got Deuce, you got Grimes. These are Tibbs guys. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Joker. But I'm saying you ain't got to worry about that for 2 more seasons. Deuce is 24. He'll be around for at least 3 more years, if not 4 more years. Brunson's 28 this year. He's going to be around at least 3 more years. So next year you might be talking about a young point guard. Maybe next year. Okay, not this year. So yeah. So we're good, man. Don't. You're not going to have third string behind every player. It's not going to happen. You're going to have a guy that plays multiple positions. That's how you do it. No, not now, Joe. Not now. No. Not now, sir. Not now. You're good. You're good. You see, y'all, some of y'all that's been here from the beginning of this show, you see what No Cap Life's analyst said? You guys already know how I feel about that, right? You guys, so you guys will understand what I may have to do, right? You understand what I may have to do here, right? I mean, you guys understand that, right? What I may have to do here. Y'all got it, right? You cannot. See, this is the thing. Y'all should know about me. I got my guys, man. And you can't come on my channel expecting me to argue with you about my guys. Like, you cannot come on my channel talking negative about Tibbs, Mitchell Robinson, or Deuce McBride. You cannot. That's against the rules. Somebody said, well, that's not fair. You're not allowing us our opinion. That's right. The hell I'm not. I don't make no bones about it. This ain't a goddamn democracy. It ain't. Okay? This ain't a damn democracy. You understand that? This ain't no damn democracy. So you can't come in this. This is the hive. That's Deuce. That's Mitchell Robinson. That's Tibbs. You come in this hive, you're going to get stung. You keep messing with them cats. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. It's off limits. It's off limits. That's like bringing Dracula some garlic. You cannot do it. No. That's like going to Tony Soprano and cursing him and telling him, I just did your daughter last night. That's like going to Tony Soprano and saying, I just did your daughter last night. What you think's going to happen next? You could talk about Frankie. Frankie disappointed me because Frankie wasn't available. I thought Frankie was going to be available. If Frankie was a player that could actually stay healthy and not pull his groin every 5 minutes, I thought he could have played because he played tremendous defense. But you could go with Frankie. Frankie's not a Knick anymore. You don't care. But, Frankie was in the Anthony Ambulance School. He was specializing in a degree in groin injuries. Frankie was specializing in a groin injury degree from the Anthony Ambulance School of unavailability. That was his problem. Okay. See, so yeah, I love Frankie coming out of France. But then again, Frankie kind of ruined it for the rest of the Frenchies. Because some guy was talking about some Frenchie. I said, oh, hell no. Just you told me to do some French? Hell no. I don't want nothing to do with him. Wait. Who is this dude? There was some cat coming, two cats coming out of France. Oh, I know you don't like French guys. You can stop right there. He's from France? Oh, hell no. I'm not even doing it no more. Forget it. France? There's only one player that came from France, in my opinion, that I would have wanted, and that was Tony Parker. The only one. That's it. Not even Wembanyama. I think Wembanyama got to prove himself. He's light in the ass. I don't even know about Wembanyama. I know everybody hyping him because the Knicks are a star-driven league, but he's from France, right? Okay. Fournier. Next. So I don't want to talk about nobody from France. France done ruined it. Oui. No. Boris Dia, no. There was another cat they had from France. What was that other cat? They had him. They got him from Golden State. This is when the Knicks are really bad. And they got this boy from Golden State. And he was from France too. I forgot his name. But he was hurt all the time. He's another cat that was hurt all the time. Batum decides to play when he decides to play. That's another thing about French players. They decide to play when they decide to play. And if they don't decide to play, they're not going to play. No, thank you. Batum one of them cats that like to go off in Madison Square Garden. But if you put him in a Knicks uniform, he'd be on injury reserve all the time. Yeah. Well, the guys, Donovan Mitchell's not a Knick, and I know he's not going to be a Knick, and I'm not worried about him. I'm really not. No Frenchie. Ronnie Turiaf. Was it Turiaf, AP? Was it Ronnie Turiaf? I think that's the guy's name. I think you hit the nail there, AP. I think we're talking about Ronnie Turiaf. He came in that deal. Kalina Azubuike came with him. It was Kalina Azubuike. It was some other dude, Anthony something, and it was Ronnie Turiaf. Those guys. Turiaf was the French dude. Always hurt this guy. Always hurt. And Azubuike had blew out his knee before he came to the Knicks, so he was no good coming here. Then the other guy was an emotional kid. He ended up playing in Europe and having a nice career. Anthony Randolph, right. He ended up having a nice career in Europe. That was his game. That was it. Yeah. They were all disappointments. But that's when the Knicks were really bad. They were all disappointments. But, yeah. That was Turiaf with the heart condition. That was Ronnie Turiaf. I think he had heart surgery. But even before, he got heart. He just can't play. Yeah. So, yeah, forget French. Forget the French. Forget the Frenchies. Forget that. No. Give me them Eastern Bloc. Give me them cats from the Eastern Bloc, man. Them cats from Slovenia and them Eastern Bloc dudes, man. Like Bodega. Bodega from the Eastern Bloc. Give me them tough Eastern Bloc Russian type dudes. Them dudes that are sleeping 30 degrees and think it's warm. Give me them Serbian dudes, them tough cats. Yeah, them Slavic tough dudes, man. I want one of them. Yeah. Like Bodega 44, man. That's the difference between him and Frenchie. Bodega don't play no defense anyway. Bodega tough as hell. I like Bodega. He's a tough dude. That was Kobe's point over. DiVincenzo might be Italian, but that boy comes straight from the bricks of Delaware, man. That boy come from the bricks of Delaware, and he act like it. I like Devo come from the bricks of Delaware. He's straight from the bricks. Y'all don't know Delaware got hood. And Devo come from that. Tough kid, man. Shoot, I like Devo. Plus he's clutch. Please. I like Devo, man. No, we good. Bring our team back. We good. Well, y'all, let me get going. Today I went to the shooting range. I had my dinner. I'm chilling with my wife today. We just going to chill at home and watch a movie. It's always good to hang out with Knicks Nation. You guys, always good to hang out with y'all. Had a good time today. Thank you all for all the support that you give. Please, again, remember Into the Knicks verse. His father passed away. I know what that's like. His daddy passed away. I don't know if it was expected or unexpected, but it's still tough. Remember him, please, in your thoughts and prayers. I forgot the guy's name, but you guys know Into the Knicks verse. He has his own channel, and he does some good stuff on there too. So, yeah, his dad passed away either last night or the night before his dad passed away. So please remember him. Yo, you going to Virginia Beach, Senior Beach? Okay. Have a good time down there, man. Have a good time. Have a good time. All right. So please enjoy yourselves the rest of this weekend that you got left. Please be safe out there. Sure.